Okay, folks, today we'll be estimating with percents. Estimating percents is a very important skill. There's a time and a place where we'd want to find that exact answer, and there's a time and a place where we want to find the estimate. If you ever find yourself grabbing your calculator when you're making an estimate, that's not good. Because the truth is, if you're going to grab your calculator, you might as well find the exact answer. Finding the exact answer of the percent of a number is as simple as moving it two places and multiplying. So again, if you're going to grab your calculator, you might as well just find the exact answer. So today we're doing this without calculators. The method that we're going to use is this 10% method. It's very easy to find 10% of a number. If you look at something like 10% of, let's make it easy, 10% of 100, 10% of 100 means 10 out of 100, which is just 10. Well, a general rule of thumb then is to find 10% of a number, you just move that decimal one place. Because if I did 10% of 200, that would be 20. You find that by just moving it one place. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find 10% of 82. So I move that decimal one place, it's 8.2. Instead of dealing with a decimal, because I'm not going to use a calculator, I'm just going to call it 8. Well, I don't need 10%. I actually need a little bit more than 4 10%. So if I take 10% and multiply by 4, that would give me about 40%, which means in turn I have to multiply 8 by 4, and I get 32. So 40% is about 32. I have a little more than 40%, so let's say I have a little more than 32. I don't know, let's guess 34. So there's a pretty good estimate of 43% of 82. Here's another one. We start by finding 10%. 10%, move the decimal one place, would be 32.2. Let's call it 32. But I don't need 10%, I basically need 20%. So I need two of those, which means 20% is going to be right around 64. I have less than 20%, so I'm going to have less than 64. Let's just call it 60. Again, we're estimating. 0.9%, what that means, folks, is less than 1%. So not very many. 1%, to find 10%, I move it one place. Because why? I divided by 10. But to find 1%, I'm actually going to divide by 100, which means move it two places. So I get 9.08, but we're just going to call it, for estimation purposes, 9. If 1% is 9, I would say 0.8% is a little less than 9. Let's call it 8. If you want to do some on your own, here's a few to try. Go ahead and try 61% of 281. Go ahead and try 31%. Oh, let's make it 39% of 1,410. And let's try 0.5% of 615.